So this will be quite short and more informal session. In the previous live stream, I was setting up Hermes agent with this specific tool to connect freelancer.com API to directly filter the offers, save it to my SQLite after the filtering, and then notify me on my Telegram if it found something matching, or apply automatically if something looks perfectly designed for me. And I wanted to use Nest.js at first because this is the framework that I want to learn, and I'm really proficient with JavaScript and TypeScript. I didn't want to jump into the Python, and basically Opus suggested me the same thing in the conversation, that it's better to, if it's something that will be running for months, it's better to stick with my stack that I use every day, that I'm very proficient with, than jumping into the Python that I use only from time to time, and it's basically not my first language. And what I learned today, it's interesting that SQLite have native support in the Node 26, and this is really good news because this is exactly what I needed. At first, I wanted to make a full-scale Node.js application with Prism to map the data types from TypeScript to SQLite. So it was big overblown project with a big framework, Nest.js framework with the ORM system. It would be very heavy. When right now, when I know that there is a native support for SQLite, this types converting with the TypeScript, and because I can use right now TypeScript in the Node 26, or at least is what it suggested me. Oh, by the way, do I still need a compiler in the newest TypeScript version? This is a good question. I think I don't need it anymore. Anyway, I will check that. Be sure. And yeah, I should be good to go. Just this one more thing. If something will go wrong, then I will extend my package JSON. I will install some more dependencies that I would need, but basically what I need is to run this cron job from Hermes agent, and that should be this. That should be it. Yeah. So my question was, why is not changing Flash? I want to use TypeScript with Node.js 26. Do I still need to comply, or is it a built-in functionality to use TypeScript with this Node version? I still need to compile it to JavaScript. One thing that Opus thrown me away is the enums are still not natively supported by Node 26, but in general the enums were always they weren't natively in the TypeScript language. And yeah, people will in general suggesting to not use enums, to use different data structures. By the way, if something is not clearly to hear, just ping me. I will also check the live stream right now. Oh, I'm in airplane mode. Yeah, everything is good to go. Oh, my hair so messy, but yeah, this is the first thing I wanted to do today, even before taking a shower. So good news, you don't need to compile anymore. That's great. I'm still living some old times when I had to compile TypeScript to JavaScript to run it. I mean, in the front end you still need to do it. Backend is so much better in here. So erasable TypeScript syntax annotations, interfaces, type generic as cast, type only enters import type. Same rules as JS. Great. Relative imports must include the extension. Not. Okay, so that's the only difference. Okay, so I'm making a plan with Opus and then I will execute it with DeepSeek v4 because it was doing very nicely recently. I mean, I was using the DeepSeek v4 Flash for a long time, and yesterday I was using v4 Pro just to migrate some skills from the cloud code to Hermes, and it did a good job. What I see comparing DeepSeek v4 Pro to Opus 5 is that this Opus is trying to go a step ahead, and sometimes it's doing more work than it's supposed to do. When DeepSeek Pro is doing exactly what I ask him to do, and sometimes it's just suggesting the steps that I could do over the task that it had. So that's good. It's not burning the tokens for nothing. And in general, I prefer the DeepSeek path. When he just suggests, he don't do the extra work. Only suggest what can do next. And yeah, I can show you. By the way, I can show you how much tokens I burned yesterday. Just to keep it on the side. So I had some lighter work. This was like 20 cents. It was mostly by the Pro version when the Flash was here 1 cent and here 3 cents. So the Flash is super economic and I would use it maybe most of the time. I will try to use it today, so I will see how it performs. Okay, I changed the plan that I had here to strip all of the Nest.js part, all the heavy dependencies. Let's see what he did. Create table, non-existing project. No results. I think I was asking him also about the SQLite querying. If it's natively here. API surface verified in v26, open, close, repair, exec function location. So it's basically the bare querying. Yeah, there's no additional syntax, like ORM type. But I think it would be okay for now. If I'm working with AI, it should suggest me some syntax to do so. It won't be that slow as if I would write the queries by hand. Create an project. Select one. Yeah, and I think I will have only the easy queries on this database. So I'll ignore. That's interesting. The title. We prepare each and the project's ID, title, values. So it's classic SQL. That's okay. We saw the differences from better SQLite, unverified booleans and undefined throw. Only null number, begin string, and you need a array bind. Provide value cannot be one SQL parameter 2. Provide value cannot be one SQL parameter 2 accepted. Okay, so all the types have to be set to null. This matters because of stage 2 verdicts in the true and half your default columns are legitimately absent and fixed price project. Every optional value needs a conversations pass. Better SQLite treat row on booleans too, but it is easy to forget when the source is parsed JSON. Rows have a null prototype. Spreading across does not. There's no DB transaction helper. Type of DB transaction undefined. Better SQLite wrapper does not exist, so you drive begin commit rollback yourself. Ooh, okay. That's a big thing. I don't want to manually make transactions. Integer and both come back lossy as numberless unless you call yesterday said real begins true. Freelancer project IDs are 8 digits, so we are far from the boundary, but worth knowing. Look against your schema. I read the repository from section 7 and run it. This is real output, not illustrative. Open database. DB, new DB, exec, pragma, journal mode, well, exec schema, create table and return DB. No SQLite binds, only null number, begin string, and you see this? This is something that DeepSeek would not do. I mean, Opus, it assumes that the docs are not complete or the docs mismatch what is in the code, which in some cases is true, but in this before I asked him to just check the docs I will show you that. Check the docs. There is Node 26 available. I will install it and use it here. Is it still experimental there? Check the docs. So I wanted him to check the docs if some functions are still experimental or are they stable in this release. So what it did, it started querying my NVM to find the node 26 anyway and trying to run the command there. From some perspective, it's okay that he did it, but it's not what I wanted. I just wanted it to check the docs, if the docs, and it was clearly specified, check the docs, not run the queries. So it's double checking, which I didn't want it here, but in general it's good that it's doing it, because we're sure that it didn't mess something up, but it's too much, it's over what I asked for. Okay, no SQLite binds only null number, begin string and uniate array. Bool is an undefined throw, so every optional value passes through here. Const bind. Okay, I have to make some wrappers. No DB transaction. Helper exists, unlike better SQLite 3. Drive it by hand. This is a pain. This is something that I don't want to handle by myself. I want to roll back transactions when they fail. But is it worth adding better SQLite 3? Insert many rows. Begin try insert 0 for rows. Const row of rows. Const rows objects from entries. Row map key value, key bind value. Inserted. Transparent changes as number. db exec commit. Return inserted. Catch db exec rollback through error. Maybe I will just keep it. At least at this point. That covers it from the dupe. Test comment unit since node strips type without checking them. It's ignoring the real gate. And it needs specific settings to understand TS imports. This config checks clean against the code above. Compiler options target is next. Module node next. Strict true no emit true. Types node. Two of those are allowed. Bearing. Allow import TS extension. Select from dbts. Check which node requires a runtime. Erasable syntax only is the important one. It makes TS. See, rejects exactly the syntax node cannot strip. So we get the clean compiler error instead of a runtime error. It confirms and catches. That's okay. We also need type module in package.json. Otherwise, every file errors with TS1295 under verbatim module syntax. Want to now write section 456. Okay. One more thing. I wanted to do ASLint rules. So I want to add a slint here, so it will be showing me the syntax misalignments, and prettier, that will auto fix all of the misalignments for me. Okay, but I don't know if it's possible for that kind of just scripting. Anyway, if I will do it now, I can just reuse it. I'm sure that I will reuse it for the next things that I will be integrating with Hermes. Okay, I reached my 99% of the limit. 100% of the limit. By the way, this is crazy. Okay, 100% used this week. Resets in 8 hours. This is crazy. Spend limit $30, 33.22 spent, 111% used. So why do I even set this spend limit if it's going over it? Anyway, I have still some balance over, and most of it are promotional credits that will expire next month. So I have to adjust it. I will adjust this anyway. Just continue this working session. But it's burning through tokens really fast comparing to DeepSeek, where I just spent like 15 cents yesterday. By the way, any questions you can ask. Okay, let's write the docs, and then we will continue with the spec-driven development method. And this method I always remember in Cloud Code, but every time I forget these steps of the skills to use in the open code and the different tools. So yeah, I have all my notes here. So this is the specify spec-driven development command. That's what I will follow next in open code. So I can already load the open code with my freelancer app, and I prefer the previous look of this. I don't like the current one because I don't see what files are already here. I cannot link them. Why is it different? So what I usually do recently is just pinging it here and then continue with the work. Okay. Wrestling, prettier. Rules that may arrow the file violation. Every rule on purpose and run ESLint against it. Real output. Relative imports in an explicit TS extension. No, does not resolve them otherwise. Okay, 3 of those are specific to your spec rather than generic hygiene. Test the odd card, 14th risk row made technical. Ban everywhere except format and main. Anyway, I know it in practice after starting coding this. Oh crap, it already started it. Setup prompt. This was the initial thing for from the cron job. That's why I wanted to. They are exported from the Hermes. And here, let's check packet JSON, script poll dry, serve dev test. Did you try it already? No. Spec MD. Okay. I just want to open it. Okay. Is it the same directory? Freelancer. Why is it empty? Freelancer app? I think it's not the same thing. File open. So project Hermes freelancer, it's here. Yeah, I put it there because okay, because Hermes has full access to this one directory, so I will keep it here. Okay, and let's switch to DeepSeek Pro, High, or even Max. Spec-driven development, spec. Check the skill. Check this skill. Oh, I'll make it bigger because you probably can't see this against this spec file. But first, maybe I should commit it now. What's the history on the initial commit? Yeah, I'll commit it. Spec for the first version. The scripts. Okay. So I'm checking it against the skills from the agent Osmani agent skills. Eddie Osmani agent skills. DeepSeek V4 Pro with the max. So I didn't use max yet. I was using the high yesterday. It's super fast, much faster than Opus. Objective, success gaps, assumptions, no implementation plan, no task waiting on it to add. Yeah, added. Add all missing things. And you can see it tested against the Opus, but in Opus I wrote the plan, the initial plan, when I was planning to use Nest.js and some ORM system. And today I just asked him to check if I can make it lighter, skip these frameworks, and it rewrote the technical things, but it looks like it didn't check it against what we have, what we had before and what we have in the skills. DeepSeek found it, as you can see, but I didn't invoke the skill directly in the cloud code before. Okay, and how much is it burning through the tokens? It's still here. It's still 20 cents. And now I'm outside of the peak hours. No, there is no. There will be the new rule at the 17th of August, when it will charge more in the peak hours and less outside of the peak hours. The same way as the cloud is doing it now. But the cloud is charging peak hours considering United States, when DeepSeek is considering the time zones mostly around Asia. So right now I'm outside of the peak hours. Okay. Line spec to the new scaffold recommended. Rewrite stack command structure testing sections to vanilla Node.js. Yes. So what? I left some part of the Nest.js there? I mean, Opus left some part of the Nest.js there. Maybe I should read the plan too, instead of relying on what he spilled me in the messages here. That's my bad. But oh yes, it's still mentioned here. So it was performing this directly on the code, not in the documentation. Why did not touch? Oh my god. Stop. Apply of these to spec.md. So you see, I lost my own guards, and I just assumed it did it because it started performing some actions, writing some code. So I just assumed that the specs were okay. But it didn't apply all of these two specs. It just started doing things around, not the exact spec things. So it's good that DeepSeek catch this. Anyway, new session. Why is it opening like that again? I'm really not into this. New interface when I don't see anything at all. Let's check. Let's check it against each other's. Okay, hopefully it will be right this time. Next I will have to record some videos, some regular videos. And by the way, finally add this drafted pages for the spec-driven development with with Opus, with open code, and the alternative models. But in the previous lessons, I think I used GLM 5.2, and here I will end these things with DeepSeek. And this is super easy, super fast, because there was some just logic component in that lesson, so it should be added today and maybe tomorrow at latest. Anyway, join the lab. You have the QR code on the screen. And let's build something together. So I will show you the other lessons in the meantime. You have how to level up fast, basically step by step in this community, how to progress the fastest way, and here's like the level system. So if you are more active, you level up faster, or if you want to bypass it, you just go to the paid version of the plan of the group. Then you have the lesson of choosing your tools, when I describe Cloud Code and Gemini and other tools. But I mostly focused on the one that I tested and I use every day. So it's mostly Cloud Code and the open code. Then tool setup, some other things that you need around these basic tools. Agentic commerce is something that I started looking into, and this is something interesting because all the information I see around the internet are different. OpenAI introduced it into the ChatGPT like last year, exactly 1 year ago. Then they silently withdraw these changes. And I was trying to dig deeper into this, and I found out that basically this checkout process is not straightforward. and users are it feels like the users need to confirm by themselves that yes, I'm paying, and it's not strictly implemented there. Also, there is a process when you track your orders, but in my opinion, it can be done basically through the email and some very simple tracking page, which is even anyone can vibe code. So I also found some sources that they link that most of the agentic transactions were performed by the same agents transacting with each other. So there is a very huge volume, but most of this volume is only a few of the bots, and this is kind of a shady, but maybe only a few people adapted it that way. Yeah, anyway, this is something that I'm still looking into, and I will also add the MCP development to testing on my website, on my audit, with the payment. So this is the next thing. Advanced concepts. So yeah, when I talk about skills, MCPs, and in general setup, how to use these tools from your phone when they are performing on your laptop. But in general, these tools are progressing so fast, and some things are a little bit out of date. Also, I was using a lot of Copilot before, when now I don't use Copilot at all. It's just too expensive. It's not something for me. So you can check it there. But many things are much easier right now. I will update these lessons when I will finish the spec-driven development. So spec-driven development, I have full lessons from the spec kit. I also have the agent skills from Eddie Osmani. These agent skills from Eddie Osmani are like, right now they are mostly done. I will finish it soon, so we can definitely check it out. 24-hour SaaS challenge is basically, this is something that I was challenged to do before, and I challenge you to do, where you can take it's basically like a talk with the client. So you have some docs, some processes in the example company, and you have to build them a system that is solving their most important pain point and implement it. You can do it in 24 hours. So this is what I was challenged to do. So I found this issue, I implemented it, I deployed it, and it's working. So this is perfect example how to make the proof of concept or even MVP at this point that client would be satisfied to see in the very short time. And we have the step-by-step how I did it. We also have the setup that this is the video lesson when I show exactly step-by-step how I did it, and this is the my final result of my work, and like the answers for this challenge. But it's not like a closed. There are many answers that are right. There is one guy who also finished this challenge in the community, and his answers, he did it a little bit different way. He made it much more manually, but it's also correct. He solved the same problem. So this is how I did it. You don't have to do it exactly the same way, but if you want to compare, you can always do it, or if you stuck, you can always check how the final product might look like. And I just tell you right now, it's 24 hours, so the product must be easy and very simplified because of the time constraint. You can take, of course, a little bit more time if you need. 24 hours is something that was motivating me and should motivate you to just make this time period, just lock out, lock in, all distractions off for 24 hours because it's a short time when you can finish this and just forget. You don't have to do it day by day until you lost your motivation. AI agent doing real work. This is something that some setup, some schedule setup, and things that I have automated skills to do. So like posts for LinkedIn, scripts for YouTube, and also the job apply for LinkedIn skills, when I can just trigger one command and it's doing everything end to end. Software design patterns are the basics of the software engineering, and you can upskill it here. Build your own skill step by step, how to make your skill. Also, you have some of my skill included here. Prompts and GitHub Vault is basically the drop of everything that I found I see useful, and this one is available for everyone for free right after joining the community. Setup updates is something that I post here when something in my work, how I perform the work changed. I try to leave it here anytime I can. Okay, so cloud finished working, and let's see what's changed. Header, dated version, node naming, Zapata swapped, D1 to D3 through D7, acceptable criteria, new subsection, runtime and Hermes findings. Two things to know: someone committed the tooling while I was working. Bro, why do you check the committed? Commit to extract the first version of a script contains all 9 tooling files plus the pre-edit spec MD, not mine. My spec edits are unstaged in the work tree, uncommitted. Are you bullying me? Three decisions in there and judgment calls you may want to overturn. Handwritten config validation instead of thought. I didn't know I can use dot here. Section 4 saying plainly this is the one place your dependency costs something. Roughly 30 lines of checks. If you would rather keep thought, it's one dependency edit and the rest stands. Okay, give me example. Versus manual one. I think I don't need it here. Running on current rather than LTS documentation accept via downgrade path spelled out. This node 26, it's current, but it will turn into long-term support soon. So we can do it right now. It's just information. The absolute Node.js path in the shim, which trades an edit on upgrade for a load file instead of a silent wrong runtime one. There's still 3 lines placeholder that exists only, so TSC has an input 15, no, nothing explicit. I think I will skip Zod anyway, because this is super easy, super simple database. It would be better to use better SQLite to not manually manage the transactions than adding a Zod here. Okay, so let's see how it's progressing. In the Zod, it's 74 lines. So this is the validation schema, keywords, filters, LLM, URL string, parsed, safe parsed, error issues, manual. So it's 74 versus 98 lines. No, I will skip it. Const paths, actual code, nothing, type of code. Oh my god, yeah, it's better with thought. Okay, this is parsing. str, I guess it's string. Parsing, type of string. No, I will not install this out here. It must be easy and very light. But size 15. Invite input. Keywords React. Got string. Keywords invalid input. Expect array. That schema in a single source of truth. Stay manual. No. And he even recommended me stay manual. Why did he mention Zod if he recommended me stay manual and I didn't even ask it about this. Yeah, stay manual. Okay, it's going really. Sometimes it's going way too far beyond what I ask him to do, and this suggestion is totally random. Really, better SQLite would be better if I need some extra dependency than Zod for validation. Okay. Resource main TS ball. Okay. PM run check slint. npm install 0 packages, provide nothing. Perfect. Live findings. So we basically remove the new lines. Or reformatted it. Why is it like that? Anyway, runtime Hermes findings. So scheduler is in Python, but it will be running the node script. Node script must be resolved inside the Hermes scripts, whatever language it is. So the path and calls. I think it's by default set up like this, but I gave it the permissions to this exact directory, so it should be able to trigger this Node.js scripts anyway. Known as H script runs under the Hermes owns interpreter. Yeah, but if it would be a bash script, no, it would be super complicated in bash. And the type, there are no types, no objects matching. Cron distract script is their own success. Whole stack is in the node binary and warning free. Can have it here every module layer. Database SQLite. Okay, Okay. The cron shim is version controlled here, then installed, projects and above all. Anyway, I don't need this information for now. No framework, plain TypeScript, wired in one composition root. Or dropped. Why does it even mention this Nest.js? Remove. Just keep it. I don't need it for later. Okay, I will stage these changes so it won't mess these things up. Okay, Nest.js references are gone. And this is something that, at least assuming that what I did yesterday with DeepSeek, it would be probably not even mention anything over what I asked for. The revision node just stays the stack with no nest across the repo now, returns it to hints in which I think. Okay, let's see if it. Okay. It's removed. Okay. Let's verify nest. Honestly, Nest.js. Okay, it can stay here. Okay. When did we stop? Hybrid CLI. Poll serve parse args node SQLite database sync insert no. Okay, follow the types. No framework, plain TypeScript modules wired in the composition root. This thing. I think it's irrelevant here anyway. The pipeline is exactly one implementation. No build step. I think it's still too much, but I'll just leave it for now. Runtime dependency 0. Okay, in the scripts. Watch serve mode. Check. Type check. Test watch. Test coverage. Experimental test coverage. Oh, that's interesting. Lint fix. Format check. Inspect SQLite. Bash. You see, and here we had the build step, and everything had to be built to JS and served from this directory, when now you can just use directly this file to do all the operations. That's so great, so much easier. PNPM RAM type check is load bearing rather optional hygiene. Okay, package JSON. This is something that I want to see. Okay, so it will run this bash command, and in this bash command we'll have everything served from the node, which is good. I can just symlink this anywhere, or just use the one command, paste it in the cron job to trigger it, and everything should be fine. Everything is under the hood, under this one layer of abstraction. Yeah, we don't need to expose it. Main config TS. I'll probably have to add some logging, but I'll do it after that. After the first version is implemented here. Node HTTP serve code style. Yes, it analyzed my other projects, because I always set this to 100, sometimes 120. Default is 80. It's like for the computer from the 90s. Media marker. Even wrote the functions already. Okay, it's already better version than we had before. So undo last commit, just include it and commit again, and we'll read from around 460 line. Now let's jump to open code and check the spec MD against the skill, if everything is here. DeepSeek V4 Pro, max reasoning. Let's see, but I will analyze this in the meantime. Testing strategy. So we have the tests, and the testing with bare node is pain in the ass, to be honest. Okay, so I didn't answer some questions from this plan. Oh, plan and tasks. Okay, so it went through next steps of the spec-driven development. So, but there are, anyway. Ask me clarifying questions. Unit cases. Sanitizing, bind. I don't want it to wire this cron. I want to set up this manually from the Hermes dashboard. But maybe it's a good idea. Oh, okay, so it will register the cron with one command. No agent, nice. So what I want to do here is by basically a chain of the commands, where the first one will just pull with the automatic filtering, like the decoded filtering, and then I would like to use AI actually to check it against my rules, to filter all the offers that are not good for me. How can I change these things in the Hermes? I have to figure it out. Anyway, right now it's pulling these offers is good for now. Let's see how it will work. Or should I trigger it inside this? So the next question is, should I run this AI that filter it after? That will review this filtering before handling it to me. Should I set up it in the code with the request, or in the Hermes, like a chaining these cron jobs? I have to check what's more optimal here. Cutouts cover V1 token cost. Yeah, it's still V1 boundaries. Secret from process and zones from Hermes env. All the checking. Ask first. Never put a secret in config JSON. Repeat to USB out. I Hermes. All the risks. Open questions. Out of scope for V1. The 2-hour agent digest cron job. Market rate flow filter, groundwork. Yeah, let's make it just working for now and test it before implementing the next steps. Okay, 4 questions. Keep it. Yeah, basic filtering at least. Keywords config JSON has React Next.js. Add more keywords. Add TypeScript frontend. Of course. Retention data DB growth without bound. What should we want to do? Leave it prune manually. So we're just loading. It's not checking if the records are already there. Prune older than end days. Yeah. Yes, run older than 90 days. I think this port is empty, so that's okay. Yeah, it's really nice. DeepSeek V4 Pro, it's doing what it's supposed to do. It found the missing things. What's the cost? Let's check it also. So I had this thing. $0.25. So for today it was the one thing for clarification was 4 cents. Super low. And basically if I will stay, yesterday I didn't do much work, but if I will stay like $1 per day, it's $50 per month, which is only a little bit more than cloud code. And I was using ChatGPT with this Sol, Terra and other models, and it's not that good. Really, they are. I was a bit disappointed. Especially, I tried once in the codex, and they were terrible in the codex. With the open code and Hermes, they work much better. I don't know. Maybe I don't have some setup in the codex, or what. It didn't work for me. And anyway, this GPT subscription, right now I have Go for free because I have some other service bought and they just included it. But until yesterday I had Plus, and I cancelled it. By the way, for the United States, it's $20, but for the Poland, when I live, it's 99 zloty, which is like closer to $30. So the price is the same as this DeepSeek, when I will have basically no limits per 5 hours, so I can just work straight on what I actually need to do. And it's super fast, much faster than this GPT 5.6 Sol or even the Cloud Opus. That's super strange, because what does it mean? It's just less people use the DeepSeek, or they have faster CPUs, or the network lag, but maybe all of it combined. I'm really not sure why but it's much faster right now. So I will keep using it until I will find where it can hit the wall, where it's hitting the wall, and I have to switch back to something else. But yeah, it's basically a few cents, way cheaper than other models. Other thing that I wanted to mention, I already forgot. Yeah, that's all. Okay, spec updated. Phase 1 now complete. Next part is skill phase 2 implementation plan. Great. I love it. When I was using here GPT models, 5.5 and 5.6, they were basically jumping to the next steps without telling me, and I wanted to just write a specification, and that's it. And there is a suggestion in the skill that the next step is something else, and GPT would just jump to the next step without telling me anything, when here DeepSeek is doing exactly what I asked for and asking me, should I go next? Is it approved? This is perfectly aligned with my workflow. So if I would like it to go further, I would just ask him to do it. When in the GPT 5.6 I have to specify don't go to the next phases. Yeah, so the next step, what's the next step? Spec-driven development. So the first is specifying open code, the next one is plan, so it's plan MD to do inside an open code. Oh crap, I skipped that one. Agent skills. I probably didn't save it last time. And there is for open code. Setup. How it works, life cycle, yeah. So the spec-driven development, the next is planning and task breakdown. Perfect. Plan. Spec-driven development. Then build. Really, I thought I already added it here. So it's this increment, but I want to paste it like a bear. Okay. Incremental plus test-driven development. Then it's the test. Oh, sorry. You have verify. Yeah, where's the test? The flow is different here. Debugging and recovery. There are no tests. Anyway, it's draft. Verify. Then review. Open code. Not publish. And ship. This replaces slash commands like spec, plan, etc. Did they change this workflow? Add page. Shipping and loud. So this was ship. This is basically all the things to do right before pushing to production, verifying the last final bits.